welcome. I'm Griha Atul and this is the grand edition of Indian of the Year, because this November, CNN-News18's Indian of the Year enters a new milestone of its 15th edition, celebrating India's invincible icons. So welcome to this month-long celebration of Indians who define the pulse of the nation. The revelry will reach its crescendo this November 28th. Now, since 2006, CNN-News18's Indian of the Year has been honouring individuals whose determination, vision and achievements have shaped the nation's journey, with recipients including Shah Rukh Khan, Virat Kohli, ISRO, NGO Stop Acid Attacks, Vishwanathan Anand and A.R. Rahman among others. And we continue that legacy, celebrating the icons who inspire India forward.
मैं आपका बहुत मशकूर हूँ और मुझे बड़ी खुशी है कि आपने मुझको यहाँ पर मदऊ किया और ऐसी खूबसूरत अच्छी एक महफिल आपने यहाँ पर मुनज़्ज़म की है। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
जब हमारा नेशनल एंथम चला तो सर ये अभी भी रोंगटे खड़े हो रहे थे। तो मतलब वो उससे बड़ी फीलिंग कुछ नहीं थी। मतलब ऐसा लगता है कि जितनी भी आज तक मेहनत करी है, इंजरीज हुई हैं, जो भी हुआ है, वो उस टाइम भूल गए थे हम।
I don't believe in tags, I don't believe in comparisons. For me, the joy of life is just watching that ball and hitting it in the middle of the box.
इंडिया कभी झुकेगा नहीं।
Please do keep watching CNN News 18, but beyond that, do watch films in the theatre.
Thank you for that. We're on cable as well as on social.
You don't get CNN News 18 in theatres yet. So.
To be holding the award for being the youth icon, Indian of the Year, just is truly a very, very special feeling. Thank you, CNN News 18 again.
So this year, under the theme India's Invincible Icons, the spotlight is on change makers who embody courage, perseverance and an unshakable spirit, standing tall as symbols of strength and progress in a transforming India. And when you have to pick one among the many stars, you need an equally brilliant panel to make that choice. The country's most distinguished minds have come together to decide on who will be crowned the Indian of the Year 2025. So presenting before you this year's elite jury, bringing depth, diversity and insight to the selection process. So we start with the Indian of the Year 2025 jury, which has Sanjiv Goenka, founder and chairman of the RP-Sanjiv Goenka Group. It also have Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, former Chief Justice of India, Prasoon Joshi, poet and songwriter. Sanjeev Bikhchandani is the co-founder of Info Edge. Then there is Professor Shantishri Pandit, who's the Vice Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University. Amitabh Kant, former CEO, Niti Aayog. We also have Indu Malhotra, former Supreme Court Judge. Then there is Mahesh Jethmalani, lawyer and former Rajya Sabha MP. There is Gagan Narang, Olympic medalist. There is Lara Datta as well, former Miss Universe and of course an actor. Shefali Shah, also an actor. All of these members constitute this year's elite jury. Let's now talk about the young trailblazers rewriting India's story in real time. Bold, brilliant and unapologetically driven. These youth icons turned their dreams into momentum, breaking barriers, shaping culture and proving that age is no limit when purpose leads the way. This is the generation defining tomorrow, today. Turning the spotlight on a generation that refuses to wait for the future, because they are already building it. Artists, adventurers, storytellers, revolutionaries. Young Indians rewriting the destiny of a nation. Youth Icon of the Year 2025. A performer who leapt from stardom to substance, Ananya Pandey. She reinvented herself with the gripping thriller Control, then made global history, becoming the first Indian face of Chanel. A star in constant evolution, fearless, refined, unstoppable. The musician who turned healing into a movement, Rishabh Sharma.
His Sitar for Mental Health tour swept across 10 Indian cities, weaving classical music, mindfulness and emotional relief into a single unforgettable experience. From New York stages to India's heartlands, his message resonated globally. A performer whose craft speaks a global language, Ishan Khattar. His film, The Homebound, stunned Cannes, earning a 9-minute standing ovation and emerging as India's bold Oscar contender. From Indore's lanes to the world's most iconic stage, Zakir Khan made history in the year 2025 as the first Indian comedian to headline a Hindi stand-up show at the Madison Square Garden. A poet of everyday life and now an international comedy titan. And finally, two warriors of the sea, Dilna and Rupa, who completed the Navika Sagar Parikrama 2, a jaw-dropping circumnavigation of the globe aboard INS Sweet Tarini, 25,400 nautical miles across 4 continents. These are the youth icon nominees for Indian of the Year 2025. Young, fearless and rewriting the definition of greatness.
So let's begin with getting my guests on board. They will be talking about the two important categories that we are discussing today. That is the youth icon that we begin with. So first joining me is Ira Trivedi, author and columnist. Also joining me right here in the Noida studios is Captain Manjula Katoch, who's a defense expert. Captain Katoch, since you are here, let's begin with you. Your favorites when it is the youth icon category. You've gone through the nominees. Who do you think is going to make the cut?
Yeah, so Graham, although we have a very diverse nomination list, and it's a wonderful, I must compliment the jury that they have taken into consideration all these sections of the society. That's a wonderful thing. But as far as my vote is concerned, I would like to support the nominees of Lieutenant Commander Rupa and Lieutenant Commander Dilna. Not because they are from my fraternity, not because they are lady officers, but because I genuinely feel that these are the youth icons which I would like my own children. I am a mother of 2, so I would like my own children and the younger generation to follow and look up to. See, these two lady officers, they have circumnavigated for 25,000 nautical miles. It's no small feat, you know, and 250 days. They have been there in the sea. It's not a small thing. So they truly speak about the courage, about the resilience. So my vote certainly goes for these two naval lady officers.
And Neera, what about you? Does your choice match with Captain Katoch's choice?
I actually think that there's so many wonderful nominees that it was difficult for me to choose. I think it's going to be really tough for the jury. I'm going to be a little selfish. And the people who are in my field, who are health and wellness, food farmer, you know, I have personally been following him and I really like what he does, you know, and he's doing this completely out, like this is not, like he doesn't get paid for doing this. It's purely for societal benefit, and it's such a need of the hour because we're just flooded with so much stuff that we don't know what's in it. So I think it's such a need of the hour. It's irrelevant to every single human being, not just a subsection. Everyone eats food. Everyone needs nutrition. Everyone suffers from adulterated products. So I think that the relevance and the impact is so large.
Absolutely. And Captain Katoch, this is a very important point that Ira also is making, because we've had so many important news stories that have done the rounds, that has led very many of us who have taken a notice of these stories, whether it is a small kid being impacted because of eating a contaminated cake. The story have been so ghastly. So a person like Food Farmer, who is one of the youth icons, who's contending for that top category there, becomes an important nomination. So what are your views about that?
Certainly, food constitutes a very, very important part of our daily lives. We have to be very, very mindful, and what work he is doing is absolutely amazing and absolutely genius, very, very thoughtful, I must say. So every section of the society and all these nominees are certainly, contributing their bit towards a better future and towards a better society of the nation. certainly they are all doing their job very well.
Okay, so Food Pharma is part of the influencer category. We are going to be discussing further on the influencer category, but let's so far restrict ourselves to the youth icon category. Once we are, done with all of those nominations is when we head to the influencer category. So from Ananya Pandey, Rishabh Sharma, and also Ishan Khattar, and you have mentioned the lieutenant commanders there, and Zakir Khan. Your pick, Ira. Who do you think makes the cut as far as youth icons is concerned?
I personally, again, I'm going to be a little selfish here. And maybe that's the reason why I'm not a judge, because I actually really like what Rishabh Sharma has done, because, he's really brought classical music to the masses, to the youth, in such a beautiful way. Otherwise, no one went to listen to his classical music, no one that I know. And now everyone, Rishabh's tickets are completely sold out. Mental wellness is close to my heart. So I just think that it's really amazing what he's done, and it's been done on scale across the world, and again really impacted people positively in terms of mental health, brought awareness, and just internationally doing something for a field which was which people, just especially the youth, were not listening to. And classical music especially is, it's such a beautiful art of our country, which was really just, going down. So I really, really, really think that he's done something wonderful.
And what about you, Captain Katosh, since we are also talking about actors who have made it to this particular category, since you must be also a movie buff, after all, we are living in a country like India, we cannot be far away from films. Do you think them being on the nomination, as far as Ananya and Ishan are concerned, that also becomes a very difficult choice, because very many of the youth are highly concentrated on what our stars on the silver screen really look like, what they look like both on as far as fronting the arc lights are concerned and off it. And right now, because of social media consumption and the excessive Instagram feed that is constantly there, and we are all scrolling through it, they feel, and we're talking about the people of the country, they feel very, very close to these stars, and that's why Ananya and Ishan are also vying for the youth icon category.
Very true, Greha. I absolutely agree that we in India, we really breathe Bollywood. So that is the reason that we have these actors on board as nominees. That is absolutely right. And they are doing their work perfectly fine, very nice. They are doing, Ishan Khattar is now making it to Hollywood also. That's a brilliant thing. But again, my still choice remains with the Lieutenant Commanders over there, because I feel there is a difference between real life and real life. So what these lady officers have done in their real life. So the real life heroes, they don't need any script, they don't need any takes, they don't need any shooting. Whatever they have done in their real life is, an inspiration for millions and millions. And when we talk about visibility, when whole of the nation, and not only nation, what Lieutenant Commander Rupa and Lieutenant Commander Dilna has done, whole world has seen. So they have brought laurels not only for the not only inside a country, but also on the international platform. So when people see walking them for receiving the awards, it gives them visibility. And when it gives them visibility, people see, especially girls of younger generation, they can relate to them, they can see them, they can get much more inspired to them. So I think youth icon awards certainly should go to these lady officers, and younger generation should follow them, should get inspired by them, should get motivated by them. And whatever they have done, Ananya Pandey may be able to do in the real life, maybe biopic or whatever, but whatever they have done, Ananya Pandey will never be able to do in their lives, but they can do what Ananya Pandey is doing.
That's absolutely, and that's a fair point, and I know why Captain Katosh is sticking with her choice. Ira, any word on Zakir Khan, because he too has made history, using the national language Hindi to reach out to a global audience at a global stage, never before done, and that's something which is an achievement, and that's why he too has made it to the youth icon category this time around.
Absolutely. I think, again, I remember I was in Delhi a few days back, and to be honest, I didn't even know who Zakir Khan was. I just read a traffic warning saying that today traffic in Delhi is congested because there is a Zakir Khan concert, like an event. So I was like, who is Zakir Khan? And I explored and I said, wow, he's doing really, wonderful stuff. And what a beautiful rise. Again, such an inspiring story. So, imagine I found out about him because in Delhi, in the capital of the city, there was a traffic congestion warning because he was so popular.